Alright guys, so today I was brought a machine. It's a Toro Flex 21, and the problem was they're cutting the greens on the golf course, and the mower was making like a horizontal line, like repetitive, and it wasn't cutting dull. The blade was sharp, the cut was even. So that tells me it wasn't in the reel, and the bed knife and the height of cut was dead on, so it wasn't in the height of cut. So the first thing I immediately thought was that it was going to be one of the rollers with a loose bearing, which would cause that machine to go up and down and leave horizontal lines in the cut. But after I examined it, all the rollers were tight, so I was kind of beating myself in the head over it. I couldn't figure out what exactly the issue was, and after spending an hour on Google, I came up with nothing. So that's why I wanted to do this video, in case you happen to run across this type of cut when you're working with one of these machines, because you're going to drive yourself crazy trying to figure it out. So I'm going to do another one of my crazy drawings here, because I like to draw things as I explain stuff, and then we're going to go out to the machine. So I'm going to show you a drawing really fast. What's happening here, so you can further understand and see if it's what's happening with yours. So let's say this is our green here. Now your cut was going this way, all right? So that would be the lines of your cut, all right? Now after they said they were done cutting, they had lines that were going this way, straight across. I know you can't, well, let me do this with the Sharpie. So they had lines that were going this way, really close to each other. I know these lines are crooked, don't mind the crookedness, but there was lines going that way in the cut, all the way across. But it was a straight cut. I'm sorry, it was a sharp cut. There was no uneven grass or anything. The height of it looked great from side to side of each line. So it was something with that machine. It had to be bouncing. So the machine right here, flip the camera around. There it is. So it is a Toro Greensmaster Flex 21, and the reason it's called a flex mower is because it flexes with your turf. So this whole reel flexes as it goes. Now, if it flexes too much, it would cause a uneven cut, which is what we're having. Again, all the rollers checked out. They were all tight. They were all good. But what I narrowed it down to was, you got, I don't know if you can see in the sun here. Let's go to this side. You got a bolt here, and on this side, you can see it, a bolt there, and a bolt there. They are held on by a nut on the bottom there, nut on the bottom there, there's a nut there, and on the back side of that one. You loosen them up, and this reel will come off. The problem is, these have too much play in them. So that tells me inside of here is all worn out. It's allowing that to play too much, which is causing this to go up and down and giving us that horizontal indent in the turf. So we're going to take those out and see what's going on inside of there, because these are definitely too loose. When you lift this reel up, I can't do it with one hand with the camera, but these are moving around too much. They are supposed to move because it flexes side to side, but up and down, these top ones should not be banging around inside of there. Alright, so I got the reel off. Now this is where those, let me get the camera around here. This is where those brackets had went through. So up here, I left them together so you can see. This basically goes through those holes right there. problem was, again, you can see there's too much wobble in there, and that was causing the reel to go up and down. See that? That should not be wobbling up there like that. That should be tight, and these should be able to pivot, but they shouldn't go up and down like that. And I believe that's what's causing the bad cut. So I'm going to take these back off. These are 15 millimeter, but I already have them loose. Just put them back on for the video so you could see. Nope, got a nut over here still. Now when you look at this, you can see I was right. This is all worn on the one side, and it's thicker on that side. That's from no grease being in there and just the metal to metal contact. It wore it out there. Same thing with this side. You can see it's a little bit thinner on this side, a little bit thicker on that side. So we're gonna have to get some bushings on these. Put some bushings in here actually, and fit that back in there to eliminate that wobble. So I got, you can see these are kind of like adjustable bushings here. You squeeze them and you can make them a different size, so to speak. So I'll fit them in here like that, and then we're gonna put one in this side like that. And now let's see if we can get this in there. Now they don't come like that from Toro. I don't know why Toro doesn't have a bushing in there, but now you can see there's no play in that, and that tightened it up. Put this one in, and there's no play, so that should eliminate the bounce. And it's probably not a bad idea since there's metal to metal contact in there, and it will wear down again over time. So just put some, there's no grease fittings for there, so just grab some regular wheel bearing grease, or any type of grease that you might have around, just so you don't have that friction when you put it back in there. So, and just want to wipe some grease around there. It's kind of hard to do with one hand here. So just kind of smudge it up there, and then stick it back in there. That's nice. We'll do the same thing to the other side. And one thing I forgot to mention, when you take these off, this shaft is going to be holding this reel up. Now this just slides into here. So when you take these off, that reel is going to drop down to the floor, and this shaft is probably going to flex in. And that's what happened to me. That shaft has to get slid inside of there. But it'll drop to the floor, and then you can pretty much just push on your reel to slide this out of here. But getting it back on might be a little bit more trickier. But just wanted to note that you're going to have to slide that out when you drop this reel down when you take these apart. Alright, so putting these pins back in here is going to be it is super hard to put these back in by yourself, because you're not going to get those pins to line back up. So once you get these, manage to get these pins in there, there's a shoulder on these bolts that this bracket has to slide over, and it's very difficult. So if just one person is doing it, here's what you got to do: is put a long bar here holding this pin in, because it's going to try to push out when you try to tighten this nut, and this bracket doesn't want to go over the shoulder. So you put this bar here to hold this bracket in, and then you're going to need another one, which is going to go right under there to push up on the back. I don't know if you can see that thing coming through there, but that'll push up on the back. So you're going to have to put your knee on this to push up on the back, and you're going to have to put a knee on this one so that this is being held in, and this knee is pushing up so that you have play in this in order for it to slide over this. I know it sounds really complicated, but that's how you have to do it with one person. Very, very frustrating. I mean, we may find another way, but after an hour of struggling with it, this is what worked. 2 screwdrivers and 2 knees in order to move this reel around and get these things lined up. And that's that. I'm going to have to do the same thing to the other side now, because you can see it's not all the way in there. And when I push that in, there's the shoulder, and this thing won't slide over that shoulder. This needs to go forward over top of that. So we're going to have to flip this setup around so that this bar is holding this one in when we do that now. But this one I just got finished. Alright, so we managed to get them on with multiple screwdrivers and a lot of grunting and moaning. And a good thing to do would be to recheck your height of cut on this after you were just done banging the reel in the ground a lot. This may have came out of whack, so we want to recheck the height of cut on there and then take it for a cut and see if that solved the problem, but I'm pretty sure it did. Alright, so I wasn't able to get back out there to give that machine a run, but I'm 99.9% sure that that was the problem. There was just too much play in that front reel, and it was causing the reel to hop and giving me those horizontal lines on the greens. So, but I'm pretty sure that was the problem, and if not, that's how you fix it. It's really easy to take that reel off, but getting it back on was a problem. I would definitely recommend having 2 guys, have a buddy or somebody help you out putting it back on, or get 2 long breaker bars like you saw that I had, and you're gonna have to fight with it to get it back on. But I wasn't able to test and do some work on this Bobcat T140 right now, so we're gonna dig into that, and I'll see you next time.